Everyone. My name is Tatum Tollefson, and today I will be analyzing the Black Mirror nosedive through critical theory and biopower, um, season 3, episode 1, through the lenses of critical theory and biopower. In this presentation, we will explore how the episode critiques society, technology, and the ways that individuals regulate themselves under constant surveillance. We will also draw connections to social media and the real world rating systems, which makes this episode particularly relevant in today's day and age. When it comes to the episode overview, we see that Nosedive presents a world in which everyone is constantly rated by their peers after each social interaction. Every comment, gesture, and smile can earn or lose you points on the 5-star based system that affects not only your reputation but also your access to housing, possible jobs, transportation, and even your social inclusion and status. The main protagonist, Lacey Pound, is obsessed with increasing her ratings to secure the luxury apartment. However, despite her careful planning and social performances, the system is very unforgiving. After a series of mishaps and unfortunate interactions, her score does end up plummeting, showing just how um, tightly society is controlled by this simple numerical system that we seemingly thought we knew what was going on. Um, Now we'll get into nosedive more deeply when it comes to the theory explanation of critical thinking. This provides a framework of examining how media, technology, and social systems reinforce inequality and power imbalances. Critical theory really originates from the Frankfurt School in the early 20th century and encourages us to analyze how underlying social and economic structures shape technological use and its outcomes as a whole. Critical theory really reveals how the rating system commodifies human behavior. When it comes to Lacey's smile, the tone of her voice, her gestures, and even her personality, they're treated mainly as products. They can be sold and evaluated for a social gain for the ratings. The episode also illustrates how how people perform rather than behave authentically. They lose touch of their genuine selves because they must constantly adapt their behavior to please others or to maintain that higher rating. Um, for an example, on this specific episode, Lacey practices her smile in front of the mirror before meeting with a coworker. This may seem trivial, but it kind of underscores a large social phenomenon. When a personal interaction occurs, it becomes more authentic. Human connections are kind of replaced with by performing behaviors aimed solely at accumulating social capital. Even though people may think that they are exercising free will, the social and technological system constrains behavior. Lower rated individuals are kind of denied access to services or opportunities, while the other way around, those with high ratings enjoy privileges and status, and even their social statuses as well. This really mirrors the real world inequalities we often observe when it comes to social media platforms, where the attention, visibility, and kind of the economic benefits are often distributed very unevenly. And we'll get more into that when it comes to the scenes and the ending of the slides. For the next theory explanation, we have biopower. This framework by called a concept refers to the ways that modern societies exercise powers. Power operates within institutions, as well as social norms and the technology itself, which shapes the ways that individuals regulate their own behaviors. In this specific episode, Lacey constantly monitors herself, anticipating how others will judge her. She internalizes the societal expectations and adjusts her behavior based off of that accordingly. Um, she's not necessarily forced to perform. Yeah, she kind of acts in ways that demanded by the rating system. So in this sense, she acts as her own regulator. When it comes more to the involvement of biopower, you can see the surveillance and visibility. The digital rating system ensures that everyone is constantly visible and accountable. Every interaction produces data that reinforces um, the social hierarchies. People self police to maintain their social standings, demonstrating um, the different ideas that the modern control works by shaping desires. This episode definitely shows the surveillance and social expectations that can produce the internalized discipline, which causes the individuals to conform to social norms without kind of the explicit threats of punishments as a whole. Getting into the scenes, we have scene one, practicing smiles. This is kind of the opening scene where Lacey practices her smiles and exemplifies both the biopower and critical theory in action. She rehearses continuously how she will appear friendly and approachable, which like performs the self-regulation like I was talking about before, in anticipation of being judged. From the biopower perspective, this illustrates the self discipline before anyone else can come in effect. And then when it comes to the critical theory, um, her performance underscores how even personality and emotions are commodified and manipulated based into the score as a whole. Um, it's sacrifice for the social gain, and the social exaggerates trends we've already seen in real life, where people curate based off of social media personals and regulate their behavior to earn the approvals from others. Next, we have scene two, the airport denial. This is when Lacey's rating begins to drop significantly. She is denied access to a rental car, transportation, and airport services. No one enforces these restrictions physically upon her. The system kind of enforces them automatically. This is a clear example of biopower, how it's through the self-regulation and system designed rather than being directly put through authority. When it comes to the critical theory perspective, it emphasizes the structural inequality. It's the system kind of privileges the high-rated individuals and punishes those who fall to conform. This reinforces kind of the social hierarchies and precipitates the inequalities, which highlights the ways in which technological systems can be embedded and enforced into societal power structures. The last scene we have is scene three, a wedding and prison. And in all of my slides, I do have pictures to kind of illustrate. So while I'm speaking about the presentation, you can also see with your own eyes and just be able to like refer to what I'm saying to the pictures and see how in each of the scenes her completely her mood changes and resulting in different altercations that you can see. For this wedding scene, you can see that Lacey is experiencing a meltdown. Her rating completely collapsed, and this results in a social altercation. Um, and then without these ratings, she no longer will have self-regulation. Speaking freely and expressing genuine emotions are not available. Um, Obviously, biopower is removed because freedom without continuous ratings is just not even revealing. And how deeply the rating system had shaped her behavior is really shown in this scene. When it comes to critical theory standpoint, it critiques the system itself, which dives from exploitation, comparison, and the constant social pressures as a whole. It illustrates how social hierarchies are maintained not only through direct authority, but also through the technological structures as a whole. When it comes to the connections with the real world, we can see that the different themes and how they are relevant when we consider the real world applications. When it comes to maybe the social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, uh, ride sharing apps like Uber, Lyft, possibly DoorDash, and then other significant systems that encourage self-discipline, evaluation, and constant monitoring. We can kind of connect this with like the likes, the following, the ratings, and the reviews that influence behavior, but in many different powerful ways. Um, when it comes to this specific nosedive connection to the real world, we can see that critical theory reminds us that these platforms commodify the attention and the identity as a whole, benefiting corporations while shaping user behavior and reinforcing existing inequalities is one of the huge things when it comes to critical thinking. Um, and biopower as well. These dynamics are being showed in this episode extremely, the potential dangers of the social monitoring and structural control in the society, by the digital matrix as a whole as well. When it comes to the ending conclusions and takeaways, we can kind of summarize about Nosedive and how it demonstrates the dual effect of technology on individuals and society. How technology disciplines individuals through internalized surveillance and self-regulation, as seen through biopower, and then as seen through critical theory, we can see it reinforces social inequality and commodifies human behaviors. Um, I can see this episode as acting more like a cautionary tale, which like prompts viewers to kind of self-reflect on their own interactions with technology. When it comes to the key takeaways, we can kind of think about in connection with the real world as well. Are we really living in a society where digital ratings and these social approvals are going to govern our behavior going forward? Um, Kind of tying back into the connecting to the real world when it comes to social media. We can kind of just connect with this episode and see just like, are those two playing a part in our behavior going forward for our everyday lives? Another question that can entail is also, how often do we police to be able to fit our image online, like being able to show a different image than what we are in person versus what we are online, just for a rating or a like or stuff like that. Being able to take these takeaways really helps understand and improvise the episode, as well as um, comparing it to our real life understandings, to being able to move forward. For the conclusion, we can analyze that Nosedive through biopower and critical theory is a deeper, and it provides a deeper understanding of the social and technological forces that play a huge role in our everyday lives. It shows how the social hierarchies, self regulation, and surveillance operate in shape our behavior and the influence on different opportunities. This episode definitely, the episode and being able to reflect on the themes of Nosedive can definitely help us better understand the pressure and constraints of our own social worlds as a whole, as well as prompting critical questions about freedom and the cost of living under social constant evaluation and social norms, and the real world as a whole. Hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.